Daniel Clarke for Frankston from right to left. Umpire Shearer looking for a perfect bounce to start the 1996 Vic Safe Cup Grand Final. It favours Springvale. Oh, they are throwing themselves in very hard, very early.
I'll concede.
This wind's going to make it hard for the player kicking out too. Look at that.
Louis Bergman again has kicked it straight to a Frankston player. It's Sean MILLANE going for his third kick in the opening 3.5 minutes. Will it come back? No, it's let go to Damien Clarke. There was a whistle there.
Scoring side, Peter.
Yep,
already looking to create problems, Damien Clarke.
So aim for the left-hand goal post, I think. He's done that. Got it. It's there. He is very smart indeed, this man. Damien Clarke, 22 years of age. He has kicked the first goal of the grand final.
Well, that little bit of uncertainty, you see. We talked about the Springvale side, very predictable in the back half. All usually got a job. They know what they're doing. But when you throw in a wild card such as Clarke, who's mobile, yet good overhead, you just change the balance around, and that's the start that the Dolphins needed. Matthew McKay, in fact, lining up on a wing, Ross, on Yates.
Clarke gets the ball down. Sutherland to Leonors. Caples kept his feet well. Woodman wore one there, gets it to John Carroll. Reece Jones, the judgment. But it's a push. No, it is a mark indeed. And away goes Moore. Brendan Moore to half forward, looking for Lee Taylor. He's got him.
And the umpire got him.
Hands it off. Steve Ryan, 45 metres out, has dogged it. Wonderful play on football, starting with David Reece Jones on the outer wing. And Frankston have kicked all the goals so far. They lead by 14 points. Clark Hansen.
Well, Ben Delarue came off the ground, as you saw. He was on the phone to Bradley Gotch, and he said about 5 times, "I'm all right, I'm all right." So obviously Bradley wanting to know how Ben was, and Ben was assuring him that he was fit enough to go back onto the ground.
Lee Taylor. Now the lead from Clarke to the defensive pocket. Little with him. Let's fall for MILLANE. Chance for a shot on goal from MILLANE.
Oh, yes!
Up there from Stubbs. MILLANE likes it. The goal umpire says OK. 3 goals to Frankston.
Oh, crucial moment, says the streamers, the kids there excited. Frankston, the perennial finals loser, 3 goals. Springvale not able to get their game together. Their forward line struggling. Their backs under more pressure than they're accustomed to. And Sean MILLANE, doesn't he like these, Peter? And look at him after the goal. The hands are up. He's got him firing.
Lift the ball in triumph when the final siren sounds today, as he did back in 1991. One of 5 of 6 backmen who played every game for Springvale this year. He goes to Kane Taylor, and that's a 60-metre kick. Jeffrey was the flyer. Reece Jones gets rid of Evans. And the advantage will be played. Christian Leonors squaring. They're coming from everywhere. Davison was his target. The ball floats on. Smith.
Oh!
Yes, it's a mark taken by Davison, who kept running from half forward.
Oh, they've got to get a score. They've got to get a 6-pointer on the board. Just calm the nerves. You start to panic a little as the other side clocks up goals. See the angle.
Well, tough run out and goal. So they're on the board, Springvale. It's taken 16 minutes 20 for their first goal to come up. And the difference is 14 points in favour of Frankston.
And didn't they need that, Peter, with this Frankston side, which was a juggernaut for most of the year, just starting to fire up, full of enthusiasm. Leonor's there, good play. Baldwin nearly marks it, and Smith round the corner. See how tricky that wind is. Great piece of work, Davison.
Simon Clarke, the bounce favours him. He stands and waits. Tries to get it down to John Carroll, intercepting Lee Taylor. Atkinson there, MILLANE with body strength, tackled high by Clarke. Umpire let it go. Justin Pickering looking for the free. Kane Taylor underneath it. Daniel Clarke, Brendan Moore, Lee Taylor. Good centering kick. Richard Stubbs, it drops short, it beats the pack. Stubbs quick, he's a left footer, and he finds Daniel Clarke. Did it travel 10, yes.
This is interesting, Ross. You know, I mentioned about whether Daniel Clarke would go down with Simon Clarke, and what you're seeing is him moving through the forward line. I think that's a better tactic. Simon Clarke not able to have an ascendancy here. Very good manoeuvre.
So Daniel Clarke claimed to increase this 14-point lead. Kick Frankston, 4th goal. A kick from about 45. And they like it. Daniel Clarke gets Frankston's 4th. He's only kicked 14 for the year. So that's a very opportune time to get his 15th.
Well, I've been saying throughout the year that if sides are going to get round Simon Clarke and put him under pressure, you take your ruckman with him, move into the forward half and keep him with having to worry about a man. And this is what Clarke, the younger, Daniel Clarke, has done.
Frankston, was it? It's 20 points the difference in favour of Frankston. Atkinson will get a free. Oh, that's 50. Thrown away by Brett Evans. Well, that adds to the Scorpions' frustration.
Well, that's
and
just...
Atkinson will goal here.
That is just ridiculous. That's the sort of stuff at a crucial time. Doesn't just cost you a goal, can cost you a premiership. So much psychology involved in the modern game of football. Probably always was, but very acute these days.
So Ian Atkinson, dead in front, 30 metres out, he kicks through the ball. It's sneaked in. They lead by 26 points, and we've played just 19 and a half minutes in the first quarter. Frankston fans have never experienced a premiership. They won't be thinking about it just yet. They've got to finish this quarter off first, but what a brilliant start. Ian Atkinson kicking his 99th senior goal in the VFA-VFL.
Now look at this. Let's just see what he... Oh, really? God, Brett Evans. I would cry, and then I would be so angry as a coach. I'd probably be angry first.
Lil Norris, Springvale trying to mount something. Baldwin in front of Steve Ryan.
They've got to stop the game.
Well, what has to happen? Is it the doctor has to advise the umpire? Is that the rule?
Well, Frankston runner Will Partington is out there. The back line for Frankston in disarray.
David Rees-Jones going mental out there too about this.
Finally, the stretcher is brought out to the ironic cheers of the crowd.
Yes. David Rees-Jones was just saying, why hadn't you told me? You see motioning to them, Peter, because while that was happening, they were playing one short, in fact, and they should have pulled it up earlier. Well, they've got Desi Ryan there on the bench,
who played the first half of the season in defence. There's Ryan, but Peter Freeman, 12 games this season.
And he's been playing so well in this game too, Peter. How disappointing for him. You see, look at this knee bow. Look, oh.
Well, it's Peter Baldwin to kick the goal. He sneaked it home, a consummate finisher is Baldwin, and how they needed that one. 27 minutes played, and Springvale get their second goal. Difference is 19 points in favour of Frankston.
Crucial goal, crucial moment. Not professional enough there off the field. The Frankston trainers there should have got organised, should have stopped the play.
Evans away from Burnell. John Carroll is quick. Capsala spotted Sutherland through the middle. Long bomb over the head. No. Smith coming at it. Chance for Baldwin. Thought about Leelos, then dropped it. Ridden into the ground. Lying over the ball. Grabbed by Smith. The captain, Kane Taylor.
Beautiful.
Spots Leelos. On the run. Baldwin for his second. On the angle. He's got it. Good team play by the Scorpions.
I tell you what, Ross, and that was courage by Baldwin. He had to steady to get that goal, and he went very close to the man coming at him, and he knew the minute he got rid of it, he was going to cop the lot, and he did. Smith did well. They got out of trouble here. Taylor, beautiful handball. You can see the next one's on its way, Leoners. Now watch Baldwin. He knows he's got to steady. Gets in close. Bang. But he gets the goal.
This game is alive now. 14 points the difference. Who's starting to get a fair bit of it. Off the side of the boot, though, this could be dangerous depending which way it bounces. Back to Bergman it comes. Very much evened up in time on that game, with Freeman going off and Springvale kicking 2 goals after Frankston, with Sean MILLANE really motoring in the middle, got away to a brilliant start. It's 14 points the difference at quarter time here in the 1996 BigSafe Cup Grand Final in the VFL. And Lee Taylor bringing the troops together, running in Frankston to the huddle to listen to David Rees-Jones. The goal kickers up to quarter time for Rees-Jones's leaders, all singles, with MILLANE, Damien Clarke, Daniel Clarke, Atkinson and Stephen Ryan getting on the scoreboard. Peter Baldwin kicking 2 goals for Springvale. He did start on the ground after being named initially on the interchange, and Craig Davison kicking a goal. So the Vales working hard, working themselves back into this game, but it's Frankston who lead at quarter time in the grand final by 14 points. Towards the boundary line. MILLANE, very adept at getting his foot to the ball in tight circumstances. Heath Mead, wonderful run. He was held when he didn't have it. Really interesting situation here. The first 5 minutes of this quarter. That's another 50, is it? Yes, it is. Twice they've done it, Springvale. Throwing the ball away from the man waiting to receive the free kick.
Dear me. Let's have a look at this. The hang-on is the grab's there, but it's another bad stage either by Heath Mead. The ball thrown back by Jason Caples.
And Heath Mead within scoring range. He's kicked 32 goals this season for Frankston.
This will hurt. This will
He's
hurt.
allowed for the breeze. Great kick, Heath Mead. He's leaping. The little man gets a very important opening goal in the second quarter to put Frankston 20 points in front.
Well, 2 50-metre penalties against Springvale. Both goals, as I recall.
Yes.
No, the first was a goal. Yes. You just, when you consider that these, look at the condition. Now, let's have a look at that.
It was Bergman that threw it away.
Yeah, it did go over the head. He didn't make much of an effort to catch it.
Well, he's not 20 metres tall, Phil.
No, but he didn't even step backwards, Peter. But I couldn't tell on the screen. The umpire was close when he was probably right, and Heath Mead finished it off with a great goal.
Yes, a bit of lack of concentration by the Scorpions, Phil.
Slack.
Pickering a very high kick. We might blow back to where he kicked it from. Oh, courage by Brendan Moore.
Uncertainty in the Springvale ranks.
Moore is a real inspiration to Frankston. They've got the good lead here from Stubbs. Needed the second grab.
And look at the goal square.
Oh, the goal square's open. Atkinson's there. Ryan's there. Steve Ryan. McKay.
Oh, yes.
It's Ryan's free.
Well, I think didn't agree with that free kick.
Well, when I said yes, he's paid it, I agree, Ross. I don't think there was anything in it. I mean, the player running back was at Jeff's there.
Trying to go for the ball, I thought.
Well, yes, he's entitled to contest the mark just because the other bloke's in a better position. There's the angle.
Going for his second.
Watch
Steve
the
Ryan.
wind. Watch the wind.
Kept it nice and low.
Yes.
Drilled it. So 2 goals to Stephen Ryan, becomes their first multiple goal kicker. They've got plenty of avenues, the Dolphins. 6 goal kickers, and they're out to a 26-point lead, equals their best lead of the match. Or is it 27, in fact, now?
Well, Stephen Ryan, too, you know, he's playing in the back line, been picking up Peter Baldwin, still picking him up, and he's kicked a goal, so that is a great result for him.
It's under pressure. Clarke has to kick.
Played.
That was Ashley Charles. Good out towards Burnell. McKay left it behind. Good spin by Evans.
Oh, look
finding
at
space. The kick was smothered. Knocked on by Woodman. Good. Will it sit for Capsalis? That was Baldwin. Up go the hands of De La Rue. Barrels are 2. And that's a bit of an inspiration from Ben De La Rue. Springvale get their 4th.
Well, they were in all sorts of trouble. Initially, there were men loose in the goals, but they couldn't win the ball, and Ben De La Rue has planted the boot into a big torp. You should get extra points for those, Roscoe, I reckon. Have a look at this kick. It is a pearler. Ducks the tackle. Yes. Useful kick in these conditions if you can get onto them.
Torp's on the run, Phil. Hard to kick at the best of times. Des Ryan on from interchange, kicks it out. Oh, no!
You see Reece Jones hold his ground
Phil,
against Evans.
You see that new green grass there? That's the added length of this Optus Oval. Would have been out on the normal circumstances.
You intimating a replay?
You're going back to the past too, Pete. Now, Smith looking for the free kick. Charles plays it safe. Oh, now he's centred it. That's not so good. Slung as he kicked. Oh, Kane Taylor. Great runs from Kane Taylor, the captain. And they got their fifth.
Oh, I'll tell you what, the captain, coach, or the coach, David Reece Jones, playing coach he is, will not be happy about that. The ball there, kick back from Charles, wasn't it?
You couldn't blame him, though, Phil.
But he had to stick it close to that, right along the boundary line.
Phil. He was slung when he kicked it, and that meant it went across into the middle as Peacock comes on. We didn't quite see the kick from Charles, but Taylor didn't need a second invitation. Bang. So Peacock has come on for Springvale, and Capsalis, who's been ineffective, one of their great drivers and goal kickers in the second semi-final.
See, that's a good grab on the kicking. Having a few problems, Springvale, with their kick-ins.
From a Richmond player, keeps it low.
Oh,
another mark. This is McKay, he's a tremendous leaper.
Always a danger man, this bloke. Ross, we talk about him often, don't we? His match-winning capacity. Not the greatest kick in the world, but I tell you what, if he starts getting a few grabs, he will really unsettle that back line.
7th on the goal-kicking table in the VFL. 38 before today. This one to just slow Springvale's come back up. He's got his first of the afternoon.
Very, very important for the Dolphins.
22 points is their lead.
Not so much just simply that it is another 6 points, but the fact that this bloke can be a match winner. He has got a great set of hands.
23 years of age, played some junior football at Springvale. But he got a good run at that one. And watch the ball banana, but it had gone through when it did most of its bending. So.
Richard Stubbs rucking against Clarke. Simon, Mead, terrier-like in the bottom of the pack. Laid the tackle too on De La Rue. It's cleared to centre wing. Ryan caught at the back. Baldwin, good body work. Takes a mark, centre wing. Calling for it wide is Taylor, the captain who's run from half-back. Might be a chance. Here he is. Good judgment, Kane Taylor running in. Should kick his second. And does.
Gee, that's
that
great
is fantastic.
Football. He is an inspiration, this bloke, isn't he, Ross?
Oh,
he
really
just is an inspiration. What play there.
When Baldwin marked that in the square, he was on the half-back flank, ran all the way down the ground.
And just got the split, didn't he? I mean, he went through here like a ballet dancer. He was very lucky. The sea parted. Have a look at this. You wouldn't believe it. Players caught out. Desi Ryan just going over the play, and he saw it. But that's a smart player too. And you notice he had that bounce too. He wasn't going to risk it with the breeze.
Quite an influence at the moment. Oh, that's a good mark from Jason Capels. He's done that, well, not just this season, right through his career. That's a gather from Matt McKay. Squirts it across ground, Heathmead, and Lee Taylor has been very elusive at half forward. His pass is a good one. Sean Millane, no, yes, it is Sean Millane under pressure from Jeffs, who held his ground well there. He has played every game this season, Sean Millane. One of the few times in his career he's been injury-free.
This was a poor
John Carroll
delivery out of the back line by Springvale. It got themselves into trouble. Got them into trouble.
Now Millane missed one on the run a moment or two ago.
Not this time.
That's his second. Just when Springvale looked to be mounting a comeback, Frankston get the next goal, and that's the concentration. And look at the left eye of Sean Millane. It's closed almost entirely.
Psychedelic. And Taylor, good play. MILLANE holds his ground. That's courage. That's good courage. Plenty of it.
28 years of age. He's played 86 games now. And this premiership will mean so much to them as Justin Woodman squares it for Springvale. Taylor for number 3.
Oh, you are
this
a
genius.
genius.
Is a one-man band at the moment.
Oh, he's a great player. That was so difficult, that kick to kick that ball around the body in these windy conditions. But Taylor, 3 goals.
All in the quarter.
When they've all counted, Peter.
Phil, where's he playing?
He seems to be playing through the midfield, Roscoe, but he's been playing on Pickering, actually. So they're kind of playing through the midfield, Pickering and Taylor.
Perhaps on the wing, out of wing. To get the crumbs. An opportunity might have been squandered by the Scorpions.
Oh, yes.
31 minutes right on the siren for half-time. That would have been a handy one. A goal from Evans, but it wasn't to be.
Well, he'd just seen the kick from out there from Smith go right across the face. Probably, now that the siren's gone, you'd think, well, he should have steadied and kicked, but, well, they have to make a split-second decision. Saw a man loose, but I guess just as difficult to find a man with a pass as to kick a goal. So it's 12 points the difference. It got out to 27 points at one stage in favour of Frankston, but David Rees-Jones's team have never given up the lead. But in that quarter, Springvale ate into the quarter-time advantage of Frankston by 2 points. So the teams will gather together and go off as one. It's been a pretty tough first half.
Plenty in it, Peter. Plenty in it. And Springvale mounting a big challenge. You see them now only 12 points down. The game's ebbed and flowed, but I think the Scorpions are starting to get it together, just starting to make their move.
Now,
the wind will it thwart them.
I mean, they've got to stop. KAIN Taylor, 3 goals in that quarter. What an inspiration.
Just sensational game by Taylor in the midfield. He's just done everything. Kicked the great goals, laid the tackles. You know, that one on Ryan, when Ryan was breaking clear through half forward at the Heatley end, that was just magnificent.
Frankston,
they're in it.
They have 7 goal kickers, with 2 having kicked 2, Sean MILLANE and Stephen Ryan, while Springvale have just 4 goal kickers, with KAIN Taylor having booted 3. So a good break coming up for our combatants in the VFL Grand Final, which Frankston lead by 2 goals. Let's go back to Leonda on the Yarra on Monday for the presentation of the 1996 JJ Liston Trophy. Simon Clarke wins that one. Hitting it at full pace was Des Ryan. Oh, the boot straight onto the chest of, I think it was KAIN Taylor. Shot the ball away to Leonors. Here's Jeffs, one of his patented runs off half-back. Oh, a kick, but it's hit Evans on the chest.
And what about that bloke, Taylor? And behind the scenes there, players running, Leonors and Jeffs, to tell Taylor what a great piece of work that was. He's had the better of Pickering, Roscoe, already in his first 10 minutes of the third quarter, 8 minutes in. What a kick this is. They've had a lot of the play. They need to get the 6-pointer on the board. There's the angle. The wind will take the ball to the right. Where does he kick it? Yes!
That's the
goal they wanted.
Brett Evans gets his first. It took 8.5 minutes of effort, but now they're within 1 straight kick. Leonors, he got the ball from Taylor, who hit Jeffs. He loves coming off the half-back line and setting something up. The mongrel kick up forward, but it hit pay dirt, and Evans didn't let the team down.
Isn't that amazing, Peter? With Taylor, you'd swear he was playing in the midfield, but he's actually coming off half-back, and when Pickering goes onto the ball, I gather he goes with him.
Daniel Clarke. Caples. It's gone just far enough. McKay couldn't take it. Woodman did. Gave it to Leonors. Front position is Baldwin. Spoiled by Stephen Ryan, who's got plenty of run left in his legs. It's called the throw, is it? Oh, the umpire's on the wrong side of to see that. He batted it, and the hand might have got underneath it a little bit, but it certainly didn't look like a clear-cut throw at all. Very interesting that the umpire was on the boundary side of that pack. That's something we're seeing more and more. It's been something we've been saying they should do for many years. But that time he probably should have been in the corridor. Well, Smith has not been the most trusty of boot so far in this game. This to level the scores.
Got that
Jason
one.
Smith has done it.
And
For
we
the
got
first
going.
time since the opening bounce, they're back on level terms. Springvale, I'd like to see the throw again.
Well, they've been struggling, Peter. They got off to a bad start. They had to fight their way back, and the Frankston side just kept its head above the water and then looked to threaten, and then they fought back. Now, oh, well, you know.
That's how players usually get the ball out of a pack, isn't it? If
Yes.
they're told to get it out, they just...
Like this bloke.
Through the midfield.
Kick.
Kick, but Justin Pickering's got it. That was a hard one to grab. It left the boot at an awkward angle, and he dived. Now the short is on to Bowie. Spill.
Oh, lost.
Pounced on it by KAIN Taylor. Had to kick with one step. Capsalis and Pollock. Capsalis brings it to ground. Nice gather. Slips out the hand pass to Leonors.
Look at the
away
back.
go the Scorpions. Goal square unattended.
Evans.
Leonors and Evans, you're right, Phil.
He was making that move, Roscoe, wasn't he? Down the corridor, just setting it up. And what beautiful play in the back half by the Scorpions. Gee, they're an accomplished side.
Scores level. Jeffrey on for Smith and Brett Evans. To put the Scorpions in the lead would be the first time they've just been level.
First time.
They have been climbing that mountain from the time that ball was bounced, Roscoe, and they're just about to get to the peak.
Evans for his second.
And they
Yes.
do.
So a 6-point lead to the Scorpions. The only time they've led. Into time on, third quarter.
Well, there's one thing we all know, Roscoe, that up against the Scorpions and having them in front at three-quarter time is not a sight to bring joy to any coach who is the opposition, in the opposition camp, because they are very... Look at Evans going down the corridor. They are very hard to beat this side. Very hard to beat.
Evans, I think, exemplifies the difference in fitness level at the moment between these two teams. He ran about 40 metres to lay a tackle on the wing about 5 minutes ago. Of course, to be paid the mark. And 3 goals in the quarter meant we only went 28 minutes. Frankston in that quarter did not kick a goal. One behind was their sum total.
Stubbs.
And Springvale managed 3 goals, 1. So for the first time at a break, it's Springvale, the defending premiers, who have their noses in front by 1 straight kick. But David Rees-Jones's team have the breeze in this last quarter.
It's all their fault. You've got to want it. To give you the chance to do it. To do it. Benny, you're doing a terrific job.
Let's go, Root.
Keep concentrating in there. You're doing a real good job for us. Adrian, it was good.
So Desi, you take the big bloke down there. I'll take Corbin. Raiders. Echo, Dino, Charlesy. Check, Molly, Stephen, Brian, Georgie, Stubbs, Lee Taylor. Parker, we'll get you back down there, all right? Just run around, mate. Pluck a few grabs. We're looking for you. We're looking for you. We get the ball in quick to him. We can kick goals for us. Justin Meady. All right, Clarkey, Maury, Bowser. That's Macca on the bench just to start with, all right, mate? Listen up. Listen up. The ball's in our court, fellas. Neither team's going to crack. Neither team's going to fold under pressure. We're just having a red-hot dip at it. All right. It's going to go. It's going to go. It's going to go. You need a big heart to keep going, fellas. You need a big heart to push you. No one hits the deck. If you do, you bounce up straight away. We concentrate, and we hit this quarter like no other, fellas, because there's not much more I can say. It's all going to come to within. Come on, boys.
Gee, coaches earn their money, Phil, but no more than a playing coach.
Oh, well, I've done it both, Pete. You've been a playing coach and a non-playing. Look at how composed our man here is, Brad Gotch.
Then we hit it over to that attacking side. So you forwards, make sure you lead into the right space.
Make sure you get numbers over there underneath them.
Let's make it do a nice struggle. Look, it was tight for that quarter. That first half of that quarter was really tight. And you can sense that we're going to break them open. Come on. It's first five. It's really first goal. Yeah, come on. Push your hands in there now. Let's go.
Attacking it was Burnell. Good play, good positive play. Short to George from 60 metres. Puts it up towards the point of the square. Clarke's in front. The spoil came from 2 defenders, one of whom was Bergman.
Oh, goal coming.
Justin Pickering around the corner. Across the face of goal. Bowie gets a cruel bounce as he lunged for the mark.
I thought then Ross Pickering.
Coming up to the 7-minute mark of the last turn. They've got to get a goal here, Frankston. He missed with the smother, Clarke, but it went to Moore. Had a fabulous game. There's the lead from Damien Clarke. He's got it! Ho! Settle down. Kick the goal and level the scores. That is what every Frankston fan is praying for.
I think this game is just starting to swing back towards Frankston. Not simply because he's having a shot at goal, but in general play, they're winning some 50-50s. Where does that kick go?
It's through.
Yes!
He gets his second. Wow. Has the momentum swung?
I'm sure it has, Peter. They are right back, not just back in the game. They've now got the ascendancy, not just on the scoreboard. Look at Moore. Beautiful kick, and this bloke, he's a good player, Clarke. Got the best, one of the best defenders, Adrian Little, on him. Is a thriller.
Where is it? De La Rue.
Oh, MILLANE, a great smother.
Oh, Courtney. Chance for Evans through the hands. Evans fights on. Burnell. And a bounce.
Oh, Graeme Yates played
minutes.
it smart then, didn't he? Grabbed the jumper, put the arm up and said umpire.
But aren't players very clever now at keeping the ball in position without making it look like they're doing that? And Burnell did it brilliantly.
Put it between your knees.
Clarke gets it down. Off the ground from Davison. Rhys Jones got in the way of Pike a little bit with the fist, but they've got it over the boundary line eventually.
Oh, the last challenge, or when, well, we're not into time on, but this wind reduces the scoring opportunities.
Springvale's big chance. Des Ryan with the jump over Clarke. Oh, wonderful smother off the boot of Carroll. And away goes David Taylor. The smother was from Atkinson. It might have been just about a match winner. Jeffrey's handball, though, finds a target. Yates. Doubling back is Simon Clarke. No mark. Bounces about 55 metres out from Springvale's goal.
Oh, is history going to be made? Will the Dolphins put those spirits to rest? Failures in grand finals, but that man Rhys Jones taken over.
Last 7 meetings between these two teams have been won. Well, 6 of the 7 by Springvale, but it's Frankston with that 3-point advantage. Moore, another kick, taken over by Jeffrey.
Well, and it's very, very hard to get the ball back from that zone there. The wind blowing across. Moore having a decided influence on the game, driving the ball to that dead side.
John Carroll. Davison, Capsalis, quiet, stretching over the head of KAIN Taylor. Rhys Jones ran and met it. And a ball up. KAIN Taylor threw himself there after the ball bounced past Rhys Jones. Look at them, they're exhausted. And we're into time on.
25 minutes and 3, 4, 5 seconds. Clock will stop. It is all happening here at Optus Oval. Tension.
Simon Clarke gains 5 metres. 1 out duel. Evans, hands off. Davison. It's marked on the line. Yates.
Graeme Yates.
Who turned 32 yesterday, can give himself
a
his greatest ever birthday present. Not to mention the Springvale players.
3 points,
supporters.
Peter. Must be a goal.
Brains Trust.
Must be a goal. A point means Frankston have possession. They will take it out to the dead side. What will he do? Watch him go to the right. Watch him move around. There's the target. You'll see it off the boot. Got it!
It's a goal!
Got it!
Springvale in front by 3 points.
Unbelievable. We saw it in 1990, Peter. We thought Williamstown could never win the game in 1990, and they do it. It happened down that end. Are we seeing it again?
Evans fed
Davison.
it out. Davison, and here's Yates.
The bloke
right man in the right place, and Davison is disappointed he hasn't kicked the goal.
Yates, the bloke I said might have been too old, Peter, at 32 with a crook hamstring. He's probably had those words ringing in his ears. And good luck to you, Graham. That's a big effort. What a game it's been.
Nearly 15 minutes between scores.
Tension.
He leads behind Yates' goal.
Oh!
Capsalis bursts through. Reece Jones. They've got to move it and move it quickly. Not enough time.
You wouldn't believe it.
The final score wins it for Springvale. And
What a
they've
game.
done it in successive years. VFA premiers, VFL premiers for the first time. Congratulations, Scorpions.
Graham Yates, what about that, Peter, to come down to the VFL as it is now, and to kick that goal. Poor old David Reece Jones, the last man to touch the football. But look at him out there. We can't see him now, but he's gone to all his players. He's disappointed, but he's a man of great courage. Brett Evans, the Birdman, set that last goal up, Peter. Back-to-back premierships, the first time since Coburg, 88-89. Look at the players. Pickering. We saw it last night with the Swans. And look at, he's a man of great courage, isn't he, Peter? And boys, he's telling them just to stick at it. He knows that was their game, except for a second.
Ross Booth has managed to get into the Scorpions' nest.
How do you feel? Magnificent effort.
Emotional. It's just fantastic. I think, you know, today was just a fantastic performance. We had a couple of our better players out before the game, and we all just had to stand up and be counted. And the boys, to their credit, they just brought it right out. A do-or-die effort. I love them all. They're fantastic.
Fantastic, job.
Great effort.
And taking home the Vic Safe Victoria Police Cup for the best team in the VFL 1996. Well done.